place that feels familiar the moment you step inside, even though you've never actually been there while you're awake. Across the internet, people from around the world are discovering that they've dreamed of the same strange place, a sprawling, empty mall that stretches endlessly in every single direction. It's come to be known as the Dream Mall, or sometimes Mall World, and thousands are claiming to have walked its quiet halls all while they're asleep. This week, the Jackalopes explore this phenomenon, what it might mean, why so many people are actually dreaming the same thing, and whether it says something about how our minds remember the world we've built and lost. I'm Floyd Whiting.
I'm Steve Sisson.
And I'm Shref.
And I'm Aaron.
And we're your Jackalopes. We're four friends who explore the unusual, the alien, and basic phenomena. But, some psychologists actually suggest that the dream mall is a shared symbol of modern memory. Aaron, you're the one who kind of dove in to these dreams and what people are actually talking about.
Deep into mall world.
Deep into mall world you went.
Yes.
What is this place?
So it's interesting because people are like, it's definitely a place, right? Like whether it's a different dimension or a shared consciousness or something along those lines, right? So it's this sprawling, I'll pull up a map of mall world for you guys. It's pretty phenomenal. So it's this sprawling.
Again, wow.
This is accurate.
Yes, this is to scale. So the crazy thing about this is, and I'll show another map here in a moment, but all these people that are documenting this, some are seeing it from, basically they're documenting it from this angle. Others are documenting it from the backside. So the non-functional highway that you see in the front here will be on the opposite side in some people's maps. So
like just different
people enter from
perception.
different ways.
And perspectives.
So, but everybody, it's crazy. They've got the residential area over on the left-hand side of the photo, the non-functional highway, the zoo, lazy river, several different parking lots that don't make sense. And all the cars that are there are either broke down or flat tires, or it's very apocalyptic from what people say. There's an airport. There's, of course, the mall. There's the underground mall, which is more of a flea market where you can get weird things. Like a lot of people say that there's outdated and expired candy with weird wrappers on them. I mean, just all this stuff. But one of my favorite places is over on the right-hand side. You've got this big outdoor amphitheater where concerts and stuff are, and then a sketchy campground where they're not really sure, but it looks like people were there, but they're not there anymore. And then behind that, you've got the ocean with an incoming tsunami. Everybody reports that there's this, it never makes it there, but it's coming, right? And then
Impending doom.
It sounds like a nightmare. All of it.
Some people say that it is really familiar. They go there all the time. This one gal documents, she said she's been there for over 10 years.
Wow,
Every
man.
night she goes, and she made the map. There's cliffs. There's a sketchy forest.
Are there people working in the mall?
So there's people working in the mall. There's other people wandering around the mall.
I wonder if someone's like, oh, I dream that I work at an Orange Julius. And I clock in on my dream and I put in a whole shift.
Wouldn't that be that's a nightmare.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah. No.
When did I start working at a Skechers?
Yeah, right. So the non-functional highway, if you look on like that little ramp kind of thing poking out, there's actually people that are like, there's encampments.
I see that, yeah.
Okay.
And just droves of wandering people. But the one thing that they say is if you're in mall world, if you find yourself in mall world, do not let anyone know that you're in mall world because things get real wacky.
Such as
there will be dark entities that force you out. The exit or entrance that you came in is gone and you can't get out.
The workers look at you and they kind of know, like, oh, he's
self-aware.
He's
the
aware of what's
aware.
going on
Yeah.
here. Yeah. Kind of
So-
like that Leonardo DiCaprio movie
Right.
Yeah.
where they're in the dreams.
So if you're there, you just have to kind of like be like, oh, I'm in Mall World, and just NPC the thing, right? Like just kind of
Yeah.
wander around and look at everything.
Just
but
here to go to the
don't
Gap.
Really, yeah, just getting some skinny jeans. But so then we'll go to the other map of Mall World. So this one is kind of what I'm talking about.
Is this made by someone
You'll
different?
see this is somebody different.
Okay.
And you'll see that like the highway is on the other side now.
All right.
Right? There's one in on this side, but then there's one on the back side. But again, they all have amusement parks. They all have the mall. They all have the airport. They all have the hospital. They all have these diners and cafes that are always either empty or they're so busy you can't get in there.
Has anybody lined these up to see if they kind of match?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they do. Some are missing some things. Some are a little more detailed, like the first one that we looked at.
Yeah.
But all of them are very, very similar. There's the parking lot. There's the forest. There's the residential area. There's the hospital. There's all, basically, they divided it into, I have my big stack of stuff. Western region, that's the residential and hillside area. Central region, urban core and commercial strip. So that's where your parking lots and malls and supermarkets and hospital and airport and everything are.
They all have hospitals.
They all have hospitals.
Well, and there's something that I wanted to say about this, like during not the debunk, but the kind of the explanation side.
Sure.
And that's, have you ever in the real world, okay, wide awake, ever been to a building that is supposed to be full of people,
Yeah.
but it's not?
Yes.
There's an eerie
Oh, it's
feeling
creepy.
that comes with that type of thing, whether it be a school, a church,
Supermarket.
hospital, or a mall.
Yeah.
And we tend to kind of save and hold those. I was part of an effort from the Wyoming Guard to go to New Orleans 30 days after Katrina.
Right.
The city was still locked down. No one was actually allowed to be in there unless they were there for the recovery efforts. I've stood in downtown New Orleans in
Creepy.
intersection on purpose so that I could look down all 4 streets of a major metropolitan city
That's weird.
and see no one. And there, besides the people that were with me, there was no one.
I said I have a friend who used to live in Las Vegas, and a few years ago when everything was all shut down, she took some video of the main strip empty during the day.
That's creepy.
It's creepy.
Yeah,
It's an eerie feeling.
Unsettling.
And our efforts weren't to guard any facility. We were there. We were actually a very unusual unit. We had the honor and the pleasure of starting the cleanup. And it's one of the most amazing moments of my life because we actually made such an impact for being such a small unit. But we got to go into all the malls that, you know, hey, go check it out. We got to go to all the churches, mostly public buildings,
Right.
government and nonprofit, because we were military. Everybody else has got to do a private thing. So churches, schools, when you are in these areas that are supposed to be populated and there's nobody there, that memory, not just the memory, the emotional memory,
Yeah.
you know, if that
Right.
makes sense to people out there, the emotional memory sticks with you. And so I could see that being something that really sticks with all of us in a way.
Right.
And even if you haven't experienced that, you always feel like you're just on the edge of it. We've all showed up too early to something, and you're the only one in the
Right.
gym, you know,
Or
sitting
too
there by
late.
yourself, or too late, yeah, or you're that.
And you're looking around, you're like, yeah, they had a good time.
Yeah, exactly. But that just kind of comes and sticks with you, I think. So I don't know.
It's interesting though. So you've got that central region, the urban core, eastern region, so the ocean seaside area, southern region with the non-functional highway and the on-off ramps, subways, tunnel systems, all kinds of creepy stuff. Then within these areas, so it's weird because some people love going to Mall World. right? Like everybody is like
Intentionally trying to dream this.
right. And then there's other people that are like,
That's their
it's
nightmare.
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's their nightmare. And they oftentimes get trapped in there, which is super sketchy. But also, everyone reports, this is one of my favorites, about, and if you've been to Mall World, oh man, please leave a comment.
Yeah, let us know.
Smash all the buttons that do the things for us. This, if you've been to Mall World, you'll know exactly what this is. Everybody reports going,
We were just talking about something like that.
and the bathrooms are just they just go on forever, and all the toilets are there without partitions, and none of the toilets work, or like every fifth toilet works. I'm like, well, if you're using the toilet in your dream, you probably gonna wake up to a mess.
If you poop in your dreams, you poop for real.
100%. So some people are like, it's this vast array of toilets, and they're just broken, whatever. Other people are seeing these kind of toilets, which
Oh.
I'm not using because that's just ominous looking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with
That's
better
not the
lighting,
Mall World I
Yeah,
want.
with better lighting, that wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
And then again,
I don't know, it's set the bar. It's so
There's no
bad.
back.
No, like,
back
that's the
on that
thing is a
toilet.
lot of them
Yeah.
are broken. And
No, I've had dreams about being in a mall toilet area and having it not work, but not like a communal one.
so
like
maybe
where-
you've been to Mall
So maybe
World.
I've been like to like Mall World Junior.
That's really interesting. So, just quick around the table. Have you ever been?
I have not. I've talked to a couple people and they're like, yeah, I've been there.
Have you ever been?
Not specifically to Mall World, no.
I don't think so. Other than I have had dreams about being in a mall
That
restroom
counts.
and having it.
now-
That does kind of count. So I don't know if that counts or not.
Here's the deal, though. So, when you're in a dream, now you, during our dream episode, actually talked about how you can have very lucid dreams. You're very aware of what's going on. You
Sometimes,
know
yeah.
it's okay. I can't. The moment I realize I'm in a dream, I'm awake, and I can't really like sit down and force myself to go back to sleep if that dream
Right.
was something positive. When you're in the bathroom in your dream, you are very well aware it's in a mall.
Yes, because it's that typical large. You have the feeling of
Mallish.
a large structure around you.
Okay. Because, yeah, in that situation, like you walk in, because in dreams, you don't know how you got there. You're just there,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So you walk in and you're like, okay, so this is you start to solve the puzzle. But I think we do it so quickly, we don't realize that we're doing it. I'm in a bathroom. I recognize this. It's a
in a
bathroom
mall.
in a mall. I'm in a mall. It's like this process, but it happens so fast in your head. You're just like, oh, it's a mall
it's
bathroom.
like in reality, you're in a mall when you're in the restroom, even though it could be any restroom anywhere, but you know where you are.
Yeah.
And so in the dream, it's the same thing.
But it was a very typical bathroom. Nothing
nothing
amazing
special
about it.
other
or-
than being,
Broken toilets.
Other than being not the cleanest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say broken, but not the cleanest.
Which is, again, let's look at the psychology that could be behind all this. You're afraid of dirty bathrooms. Maybe that's like a fear, because I think on some level we all are. We're
Yeah.
like, I gotta use this thing.
Yeah, where you have
and-
no choice.
I think
It's
that's
like
a
time
ration-
to break out the hover
Yeah.
maneuver.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a rational fear.
Exactly. And I think I would link that to that. I've never had like the bathroom dream, but I've been in army toilets out in the field, so
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen the hell for
So
myself.
you've lived it. You don't
I've
have to
lived
dream
it.
it.
I
You've
don't
lived
have to dream it. I've been in that nightmare. Yeah.
You've been on bathroom burning duty.
It's not really burning so much anymore. It's like a Benny dumpster.
Okay.
So it's a dumpster toilet combination.
Dumpster fire.
And it's all chemical, nowadays.
Right.
And the Army takes care of all that stuff themselves. It's all internal. And so you just kind of, if you're the lowest ranking guy, sorry, man, you're getting the shit work.
Yeah.
So you drive that down and you empty it out, and it's got to be emptied out a lot more than you think it does. And so there is still like burning in foreign nations. We had a giant burn pit, and you can tell when it's a burn day. 'Cause
I'm sure.
the whole post, I don't care how big that post is, you're going to the DFAC with that smell in your nose, and it's horrible.
It's not good.
It's what are you gonna do? It's an army. But living those situations, I've never had the dream or the nightmare about a toilet to my recollection. Now, you know, I probably forget 80 to 90% of my dreams and nightmares within the first 5 minutes of waking
Sure.
up, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've had I don't know how many times, but I've had the restroom dream many times.
Really?
And it's never like a nightmare situation, but it's usually not the most comfortable situation. Like something's not right.
The door
Right.
won't lock.
Yeah, there's something wrong with it.
Ooh, the
yeah.
eyeball in the crack. And all of you know what I'm talking about.
That's
That
how you.
fear.
That's how you know you're in an American mall dream.
That's right.
because-
Yeah, otherwise there wouldn't
Yeah,
be the crack.
in
yeah.
the United States, we're the only people that put cracks in their.
Yeah.
I will
In the
say
doors,
though,
in the doors.
I've been to foreign nations where if you don't have a euro in your pocket, man,
Yeah, you're not using
you're
the
not
bathroom.
using the
Not-
toilet.
If you're not paying, you're not
yeah,
using
you get, it's like a coin deposit thing, and you're like, this is insane.
Thailand. It was like 3 cents
Really?
to use the bathroom.
Yeah, I can't remember how much it was in Germany, but there was like a coin slot, and then the door would open for you.
I don't want to. If I walk in this place, man,
I mean, you'd have to really, it'd be an emergency situation for you
Yeah.
to really have to use
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
But my thing is the development of this location where I'm trying to find like what's the root cause. You know, obviously, like when we look at the toilets and we look at this horrible bathroom, that's a fear that I think a lot of us actually have. The idea of the big public space with nobody in it, that's maybe an unsettling, maybe not a fear. I don't know if I use that word,
Do we
but
know how recently the small world phenomenon has been?
yeah, when did this really
So it's interesting because this gal put up a TikTok, right? And she drew the map of Mall World, which I would get to if I could get out of here. Why can't I get out of here?
You're stuck
Oh,
in the
there.
bathroom.
I'm stuck in the. So she claims she's been going to this place for 10 years, 10 plus years. Interestingly enough, the New York Times just came out this morning with an article
really?
about Mall
wow.
World. I mean, that's how big this thing has become. She put this map out. It's been seen over 1 million times. Thousands and thousands of comments. I've been there. I go there once a week. I go there every night. I go there whenever.
It must be one of those multiplayer dreams.
Well,
Right.
See,
Yeah.
so this is
Right.
where it gets a little weird. Is if you go back and watch the Dream episode that we did, I'm a huge believer that there is some sort of shared consciousness, and you're doing some OBE, out of body experience type stuff when you are sleeping. You are actually going somewhere else. Have you ever had that dream? You go somewhere, something happens, and you wake up and you're like, "Oh my gosh, what did I? Why
Yeah.
with my arms?" And
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I've always thought that maybe like, you know, I was laying on it or she was laying on it or
Yeah.
the
Right,
dog
Or you
was laying.
turned over and whacked it into the wall.
Yeah,
And
and you
then
just
it
don't
worked
know.
itself into your dream.
Exactly.
Or did the dream work itself into your
Right.
physical
Were
body?
you actually pitching for the major leagues?
Right. So a place like this, that's this shared experience, I'm like, okay, if I ever do go here and I see, and they said it's full of all these different people that they know, but they don't talk to them.
Yeah. Some people that have been dead for a while too.
Right.
I've read.
Yeah.
So if you're in Mall World, you're not supposed to let anybody know that you're in Mall World. I'm totally
So
walking up and be like, Floyd, seriously,
yeah.
are you in Mall World?
So in my dreams, I'm always in a different location. I'm never like at my house or anything like that. I wonder if I'm in the same world as Mall World. I just haven't been to Mall World.
Haven't gotten there.
So maybe I need to go take a left next
Right,
time.
right.
And then
Or
head over to Mall World.
Take the
You
non-functional
can't
highway.
take, you can't take the highway because it doesn't work.
yeah.
You can walk.
Yeah.
We explored the idea. What if dreams are something that we don't even have like a fabric of conversation, of a definition to really rely on about what this truly is. So like maybe you're not even really leaving, but you're not here. And I know that sounds really weird, but again, it's trying to explain something that's unexplainable, where your consciousness, for whatever that is, whether you want to call it a soul or a spirit, hasn't left the body, but the consciousness itself is able to actually move into a different realm. So even though you're not moving, you're traveling, and it's not based on a physical location, but like a metaphysical manifestation of multiple consciousnesses coming together, maybe even colliding, creating this mesh of fears and this mesh of areas that give these eerie feelings. Shared dreams are a fascination.
Absolutely.
And it's something that, oddly enough, not a lot of science wants to get involved in that. And I
Almost
never
none.
figured out why. You know?
Almost none. Carl Jung's theory is that there is a collective unconsciousness, that all humans share a deep layer of mind filled with universal archetypes that shape how we think, dream, and behave. But he also, I had to have this tie-in because I love it, theorized, shared dreams, things like this. But one person said that that Mall World is one of those places that people that in the 80s and 90s that were in the gifted and talented program end up, and they tied it in with the CIA and MK Ultra mind control.
Well,
That it's the place that they would make everybody meet up at.
I was reading through some people sharing their experiences with it, and gifted and talented program, having a UFO sighting at some point in your life is another one, and some sort of childhood trauma.
Really?
3 very common factors in a lot of people that
Gifted
frequently.
and talented program. They'd give you like the buzzing in your right ear,
Yeah.
left ear. Maybe they were just programming your brain to show you how to get into Mall World.
What's really fascinating is if you think about, let's go like Constantine, okay, famous comic book character, great movie. When he goes to hell, it's very similar to what you're describing here. It's just there's demons crawling everywhere. Right. It's your world turned upside down, ended, done. The mirror image of negativity within the world. The
upside down.
The upside down, yeah. When you go to this place, has anyone really, the people who claim to go there often, have they described the way that they feel when they get there? Like, hey, I'm afraid of this place. I've been going here for 10 years. I'm used to it. It's no big deal.
The most common reactions that from what I was reading was they have like a nostalgic feel.
Yep.
They know their way around, and it's not really, I mean, it may be kind of eerie, but it's not scary.
They're not afraid.
They've been there even though they haven't been there.
Yeah.
For a lot of first time visits to Mall World.
When we think about the structural makeup of it, I'm curious as to someone from a culture where none of this would mean anything to them.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, man, there's parts of the world where they're still using literally just a hole as a toilet. So if they saw a toilet, they'd be, I have no idea what the hell that is. Are those people experiencing something similar?
Someone that's never been to a mall.
And wouldn't understand what that is. Maybe they've never seen an airplane. Are they walking around the airport just like, why is this bus so wide? Or something like that. Like it's just.
I don't know, because those people probably don't have the technology to see Mall World to then go, I've been there and I have no idea what it is.
But I think I would really love to hear from somebody from a different culture. Right. Because, all of this stuff seems very American to me. The mall is a very American.
Well, that's kind of why I was asking about how recently it's been a thing, because abandoned malls are a big thing right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're terrifying.
And it's kind of like one of those societal changes that's kind of uncomfortable, that you're not really sure where it's going. And
well, it was such an icon back in the 80s and 90s.
Man.
When we were all
That's what you
teenagers.
did.
That's what you did.
went
You
to
went
the
to the
mall.
mall. That's where you socialized. That's where you bought everything. That's where you went to the food court and just hang out with your friends. It was a major cultural social hub for so many people. And then all of a sudden, we just stopped going.
Maybe people miss the mall. So to piggyback off of that is, one, what if Mall World is the real world, and then we come here to dream?
and that is something that they were saying. It almost feels like I'm waking up in Mall World. Like,
so
I wake up there.
I'm back in the real world, and it sucks. Two, what if? Actually, I'll get it to this second part in a minute. Go ahead.
My thought is done. Now I'm curious about it.
So what if Mall World was the real world. And second, oh man, I don't even know how to try to describe this. Come back to me.
So you're exploring the idea that on some level, if the world had ended, maybe some of these individuals have figured out how to transport themselves while sleeping to what used to be
Yeah.
or what they
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, because it seems like one of like the aftermath of a festival kind of ambiance.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what
Right, because it's not like a nuclear, blowout, right?
No,
but
they said
people
it
aren't
is
describing
zombie.
that. It's just run down.
It's run down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say necessarily. Some people have said, it's kind of apocalyptic, but I think run down is probably a better term because it's not like, it's bombed out or anything. I mean, the toilets obviously are
Yeah.
in need of some assistance.
There's no janitors involved.
there's- yeah.
Imagine a plumber showing up in Mall World.
Yeah.
He's just like, man, this is time
is
to
a
get to
nightmare.
work for days. Got work for days.
That would be a
Work for
nightmare.
days.
right.
But it's weird because, there's a cruise ship and all these different people. And so like I go to Mall World, my tile they're going to be black and white, right? Duh. Because MK Ultra. Because
Yeah.
that's just what I would want.
That's the noises
you
you
might
got.
show up and it might just be concrete floor.
Yeah.
But the structure, the layout, the map is all the same, which is so
Yeah.
bizarre.
So on the surface level, it can change, but essentially, the foundation of this
Of it
location is
stays the same.
completely the same.
Right.
It's really interesting. I would love to actually talk to two people independently about walking through the streets.
So the way I can try to quantify this is malls, shopping malls, supermarkets, all that stuff. They're made to, when you walk in, they kind of change your brain temporarily. When you walk into Walmart, everyone kind of goes into like a trance. It's the lights. I mean, you can see it on people. Like the brain turns off.
Self-protection
Yeah.
mode.
And
Yeah.
so the music, the lights, and everything, you get into this trance of like shopping mode. You're just browsing.
Yeah, and for me, it's like mission mode. Like I
Yeah,
need to
see,
get
you're
my
like-
stuff and get out of there.
I'm a hunter. I'll
You
find
can
what
see
I'm
it
hunting and get
on
out.
a lot of people. They are not in mission mode. They're just in like, I'm just in free mode. And that used to be malls. Malls used to be
Right.
You go get
Yeah.
sugared up, caffeined up.
You hang out there if you were a
You're
teenager.
hanging out,
Right.
and that's like euphoric, right? So what if that is carried over to some of us? Where like that's my euphoria. I'm going back into my dream mode of the mall.
The
Yeah.
good times.
The
And
good
I think
times.
all of us
Yeah.
are aware that
You're going back into the
area
dream state.
doesn't exist in the real world anymore. And
Yeah.
so maybe that's a way of like willing it back.
But that whole dream state that you were in of just euphoric,
Right.
your brain is going back to that dream state.
Yeah.
With your LA gears, your pleated
Yeah,
jeans,
yeah,
right.
and your
Totally.
Tiffany rocking in your ear, right?
There better be soft pretzels and cheese.
So
Absolutely.
this whole thing kind of reminded me of this guy.
Oh yeah.
So for those of you that know, it was called This Man Phenomena. Story goes in 2006, a psychiatric patient blah, 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 in New York allegedly sketched this face, claiming that this man repeatedly appeared in his dreams and offered advice. The psychiatrist supposedly shared the sketch with colleagues who then reported that their own patients had similar drawings of this man. That's why he's known as this man. There was a website in 2008 for people to go and tell their stories about him because this was now a global phenomena. Everybody was seeing this guy and nobody knew who he was in their dreams. Ends up that later, Andrea Nutella, who's known for conceptual art and media hoaxes, built the site, created the story as part of a guerrilla marketing campaign.
Nice.
But to this day, this guy is in people's dreams. So it was almost kind of like a psychological contagion in a way.
Did she start it?
She started it.
So in other words, like if you fake it, you're still doing it for real.
Great. Now I'm going to see this guy in my dream.
And probably
Yeah.
at Mall World. in the toilets.
He's like a security guard at Mall World or something.
Someone's got to help this guy out with his eyebrows.
Yeah.
His
I was gonna
eyebrows
say, yeah,
and his mouth is sketchy.
Yeah.
I swear I actually, this
Sketchy.
is, yeah.
Literally.
This looks like an older version of a kid that I grew up with, honestly, which is really unnerving. But
Well, it's obviously like that's a specific person, but it's also kind of a nondescript person too.
right. But the point being that is Mall World this man? One gal goes out and is like, well, here's my map of Mall World. People see that, incorporate it into their own dreams, and now I've been there too.
Or they're like, you know what? I do that too. And they're like, I would have never thought about that or to talk about it.
Yeah.
But now,
So this gal that put the
do.
TikTok video out did not put it out all that long ago, and she wasn't going to put it out. But then she was like, I gotta see if there's other people, and everybody immediately piled on. So
It's really hard though when it comes to various communal things. I think in many instances we can convince ourselves of something rather quickly.
Yeah.
Even if, let's say you did have a dream about, and this is why, when we talk about dreams, it can be so difficult because the memory's retention of what actually happened can be so vague. Yeah, I saw a man. Was this the man? Right. I don't know.
You're like,
but a lot of people have been saying this is the man, and then your mind's like, that was the man.
Yeah, because it's all kind of abstract, and a little suggestion can all of a sudden solidify it,
Yeah.
and it becomes this, even though it wasn't that.
I would think that's true, except for the case of the Hat Man.
Yeah, right.
true.
Yeah,
Many of us have seen the Hat Man in our dreams
yeah, and I think
Or awake.
or awake.
and I think something with Mall World is it is a little more than just a suggestion of something that you can kind of like lead people in that direction. There's
Right.
a lot of commonality in there that's more than just coincidence.
Well, and the lazy river, the amusement park. I mean, just weird places that you wouldn't necessarily come up with.
yeah.
But at the same time, we've all lived in the same culture. We've all gone to the same types of locations. We live in a country where everybody wants to say you're unique and you're different than everybody else, and they pat you on your little bottom. But the fact of the matter is, you're human. We're all built pretty much the exact same. Our minds are built pretty much the exact same.
Our needs and wants are the
We
same.
will probably end up, looking at the same types of things. Well, we've done it here. The nostalgia.
Yeah,
when I said LA Gears, pleated pants,
Oh, yeah.
we all went
we
right
all-
there.
yeah, you
right?
know
we know exactly how that feels.
Exactly.
Yep.
And as we get older and we start looking back at the things that are gone now, maybe we pine for it and we don't even actually know that we do, but we're all the same animal,
Right.
when you boil it down. And so we end up generating the same images.
Yeah, and an abandoned mall is like a universal symbol of that lost
Yeah, absolutely.
era.
Yeah.
The 80s and the 90s are gone. They're and we're all reaching that age where it's like it ain't coming back.
And the funny thing about it is, like, there's a really nice mall in Spring, Texas, or somewhere around Woodlands. It's in the Woodlands, packed with people.
Yeah.
Like the storefronts are there. There's nothing, abandoned in there. It doesn't have the same feel that it did back
just
in
different.
the day.
There's a lot less
Yeah.
neon probably as part of it.
A lot less. And when I think back to malls, they were pretty dark.
Yeah,
Always
They weren't.
dark.
They weren't.
Yep.
I think,
Always
yeah,
dark.
I think
Right.
so. Yeah.
And maybe that's just
Well, I think we've just gotten
remembering.
No, I think we've gotten better at the mall.
Right.
Well,
Right.
but so now the mall is like, the glass ceiling, so the natural light's flooding everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this feels too more like heavenly mall instead of like hellish mall.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. But then you still get into that one section of the mall where like Spencer's usually is, and it's kind of dark there.
It totally intentionally.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like Spencer's Hot Topic and stuff.
Yeah.
And
They're
you're like,
always across from each other.
The cool
how-
stores,
Yeah.
man. They're the
Yeah.
cool
Right.
stores.
but it's just, it doesn't have that same nostalgia to it.
Yeah.
Here in the state of Wyoming, we actually have a couple malls that are still in operation. I
do?
feel That's a couple. We have what?
Two escalators.
We have
Two.
two escalators in the state.
Yep.
Going to those malls still holds that for me because there are, there's the dark corner.
much bit different now.
And it's still got that old mall feel where,
Right.
what's that smell? Is it a cleaner? Is that a cleaner that they're using? I don't know.
Let's play What's That Smell?
But then you go to like the Mall of America. And holy cow, this is a commercial.
It's a happening place.
I mean, it is a busy happening place all the time.
But again,
And
in
like
the
you said-
center of the Mall of America is the amusement park, but it's all glass ceiling.
wide open, bright. Yep.
Super bright. And even the 4 different corridors or whatever, bright.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different setting.
Whole different feel.
Yeah, it's not the 90s mall that we remember.
That was
when
built
we were
in the
kids.
late 70s.
That was
Right,
built in the 70s, yeah. And you wonder why that fluorescent bulb. Is anyone going to change that?
and
Or
the
is
fountain
that just-
hasn't worked for a while, and they just kind of put stuff around it.
Fine.
Fried potatoes in chat said it's kind of like a familiar calm, a sense of innocence and stimulation at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Fried potatoes shows up for everything.
Yeah.
I want to shout
Thanks,
out
Fried.
because that's awesome.
And that is, again, returning to the idea of nostalgia and missing these types of things. And in a way, I don't know how old these people are who are experiencing these dreams. I would love to hear from someone who's gone there in their dreams, but they've never gone to a mall. I have no idea what a
Yeah,
mall
like-
is.
Yeah.
A younger kid,
A
teenager,
younger gen, maybe a Y or a Z.
Right.
They've gone there, and
Or
they've
somebody
been
from
able to-
Wyoming that's in the middle of nowhere.
that are able to walk around this thing and consciously say, "Wow, this is
They're
a cool
probably
building."
like, what is this place?
Yeah,
right.
Well,
Well,
see,
and they might interpret it as an airport instead of being a mall
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
kind of abstract, and you kind of try to figure out where was that.
Yeah.
maybe
But-
a train station, airport, something like that.
What is popular right now is there games that kind of stemmed from a game. I think it's called like the Back Rooms.
yeah, that's
And-
Yes.
another
Yeah.
conspiracy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yep.
you're in there and there's like these pools in this room that have like, why is this pool there? And you go down this other corridor that leads to another corridor and everything's kind of glossy and happy looking, but it's so corporate and scary.
yeah,
They look terrifying. I haven't played them, but now they spawned a whole bunch of other games where like out of the corner of your eye, you're down this long
Right.
mall hallway looking thing. And now when you look there, they're gone. But when they stay to like the edges of your vision.
Yeah, the peripherals.
Like I said, I haven't played them, but like now that's a
So
thing
what-
kind of with Mall World.
What this reminded me of, because when I first kind of got hip to Mall World, I was like, have I been there? Because I was having this memory of this dark, sketchy mall. And it turns out when I really thought about it, Grant and Shreff and I were in a mall shooting bad guys.
Oh, in one of your
game. Do you remember that?
one of your VR games.
Yes.
Yeah, Ghost of
Ghost of
Tabor.
Tabor. And there's a sketchy bathroom.
Yes.
Because
The whole
I
thing
ran
is
in there because the guy was after me and he was like shooting at me. So I go in this bathroom. I'm like, oh my God, this place is horrible.
I
And he
walked in,
comes
you almost shot me.
and then we ended up killing the guy and getting out of there. But I'm like, is that where this is coming from?
Yeah. I did see some people that were like remembering a place from a Tony Hawk game when they all kind of sat down and tried to
Yes.
figure it
Lots
out.
of malls
Yeah.
happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, again,
Getting through that
have
mall. I remember that mall.
We have these imprints
Yeah.
on our neurons and our brains. And I think one of the most fascinating things about dreams is how well our brains will tap into these things.
Right.
Things that we don't even know that we have. Desires that we don't even know that we have. Fears that we haven't even explored. And when I say those words, a lot of, because people say it a lot. But the fact of the matter is you don't know there's a problem if you don't see the problem.
Right.
So when your brain presents these things to you, it's on a scale that leaves you uncomfortable, unsettled. I've had nightmares that stick with me for days, and I can't, and I have no idea why. Whatever situation you're in, one object throws it off. One object.
Right.
And oddly enough, there was a nightmare, a reoccurring nightmare that I have from various things, and a sandwich placement. Where the sandwich was bothered me so
Did that wake
Bad-
you up out of your dream?
It didn't wake me up. Actually,
You were like, "Hey, this is a dream because of the sandwich."
no. The idea was that somebody was there,
Oh, okay.
Who moved my sandwich?
not mine.
Oh.
Who's
is
even
it?
your sandwich?
Whose is
Somebody
it?
else's sandwich is sitting.
I see.
They're not supposed to be in here. There's nobody down here. Nobody's been down here. Nobody should be down here. And
But
so
you knew that in your dream,
Yeah.
instantly. That's
and,
crazy.
and the second I saw that sandwich, it was a dead giveaway. There's somebody else here with me, and just that little thing. And I spent days.
Always take your sandwich.
always take your sandwich.
yeah.
But
I wouldn't get provolone on my sandwich.
well, see, and it's just the idea. I knew it wasn't mine.
Yeah.
And we talked about the reoccurring locations.
Yes.
Within our dreams.
See, and so that lends itself into Mall World, right?
Yeah.
Because if you haven't watched the Dream episode, go back and watch that. I love that episode, but we all have that place, right? That we keep going to. So for this gal that made the map, that's her place.
Mm-hmm.
Then I brought up to the other Erin, the better Erin, my wife, I'm like, you're always in that parking ramp, right? We talked
Yes.
about that.
Yes.
Is at the parking ramp at Mall World.
Right.
And you
doesn't
just have
work.
never gotten out of
Yeah.
it.
You're stuck at Mall World.
You're stuck in that place at Mall World. And she was like, oh my gosh. I don't want to think about that.
If we really look at it, so let's say that during their experiments, okay, MK Ultra, when they were kind of experimenting and torturing a lot of different people,
Yeah.
what if they did discover something? What if they did really honestly make significant scientific discoveries about things that we still categorize as, the mythological or the conspiracy or the phenomenon, but it's all, or the paranormal, excuse me, but it's all really a thing.
Right.
But they're not telling anybody because of various reasons. Not that it would give anybody any sort of power, but can you come and go when you want? What if there was somebody who actually can? What if I can train somebody who can?
Remote
What
viewing.
if I? There you go. And all of that leads to other things. What if Shreff's right when he said this is a meetup spot? This
Right.
is just where it begins.
I want the multiplayer upgrade. If I could be like, hey, let's go play some paintball and get some Orange Julius in our
right.
game tonight. Let's go.
But at the same time, what if it at one time was, okay, let's go walk into the Kremlin?
Yeah.
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 Right.
Or let's we can move ourselves and put ourselves here. There's been people throughout history who have, said, I can do this. I can go wherever I want. I can see
With
things.
decent accuracy.
Yeah, with decent
astral
accuracy.
projection.
Absolutely. And the idea of remote viewing and being able to transfer. What if there is something behind this? But it's so crazy that even if I sat you down and I told it to you, you wouldn't believe me.
I would.
But you see what I'm saying? And what if it is all linked through this massive cobweb? And I say cobweb instead of spider web because it's different. There's a lot of dust and crap on it now.
Right.
But
Well, it's kind of like it's sitting in standby mode, and the mall is just the default meeting area.
Exactly.
If nothing else
Well,
is,
so
this is the
running.
loading
That
screen.
becomes the real question is that it? Is it just the parking spot for right now? Right? Like you're programmed, we're going to need you at some point to go to the Kremlin, but for right now,
Yeah.
we're going to
Keep
put
yourself
you in Mall World.
Yeah, keep yourself busy right here for now.
Yeah.
And what if it keeps expanding because each person takes something from their own life within it? And but once it's imprinted, it's there for
Right.
good.
Yeah.
But I really
Jeff hated airports, so boom, there's the airport.
Yeah, right.
On ramps bothered me, so boom, there's the on ramp
Yeah.
and the freeway.
and they don't work.
And
Yeah. I think Mall World is that shared world, and we're just in different parts of it.
Yeah.
and maybe maybe it is, and maybe it is so far out there we don't understand it. After the testimonies before Congress, when it comes to aliens and where they're from and what they're doing, I think. Oddly enough, it's not as simple anymore as, well, they came from the stars.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but from what multiverse did they
Yeah,
come from?
right.
Or is this just another social construct that we've made as a collective society and consciousness, because Hollywood's doing a lot more with multiverses, and The Matrix came out, so that kind of threw us all off, and we're still reeling from that thought process.
Stranger Things, a lot of things happen, good and bad, in the mall.
At the mall.
Even in the upside down world mall.
So now that these media are out in the zeitgeist, we all collectively build off of it. Like, again, that's a great point. I've never watched that series. I've never watched Stranger Things.
Worth it.
I just haven't done it.
That's good.
But has the mall people? Have they?
Yeah,
Is
they-
this like an
Right.
imprint? Because I do know, I mean, I've seen clips. I
Well,
know
it's-
that there's like another world that they all go into.
Right.
That is kind of a reflection
The
of
upside
ours.
down, yeah.
Okay, so there we go. The upside down. And then once they're there, it's, malls, it's the 80s, it's,
Yeah.
see
But
what I'm saying?
it's weird because I've talked about this before, but like when we would sit and play these VR games,
Shared
I
experience.
remember those like they were real.
We
I
talked
mean, I
about
know
that.
that it's. I know the difference between reality and not.
Right, but the memory is as
The
real.
memory is as real as
and why
other
wouldn't it be?
memories.
Yeah.
So I started thinking about this because when I was going through endless videos watching Mall World stuff, and they were talking about the flea market, the underground market, and I'm like, I feel like I know that place, but it's also the market where you go and get your supplies.
That
and
is
your-
the weird thing about VR is you do remember it
like perfect
as like a memory, but like games, like flat screen games, you don't. But
You don't.
these
These
I could tell
are-
you that bathroom, and I could tell you like what
Yeah.
was in the shoe store. Like,
Yes.
it was so wild.
Yeah. I mean, I remember vividly these things. And I'm like, I feel like I know that flea market, but it's the market where you go to get, your gas cans and your guns and your ammo and whatever. But that was in my memory. Like, I'm like, so there's this weird, we've all seen these places. We've all kind of been to these places, but why is everybody going there together in their sleep?
Yeah.
That's the part that kind of freaks me out.
I think a lot of it, and this is probably going to get a lot of hate thrown my way, but the idea that a lot of people just jump on the bandwagon.
Oh, sure.
You know,
Absolutely.
that there's a huge percentage out there who've never actually been there or don't realize that they're just jumping on the bandwagon.
Right.
And, they've had something implement this idea in their head, and they're like, "Oh, that's where that place was."
CIA.
Well, let's say like with Krantz, she was on an on ramp. Okay.
Yeah,
That's her reoccurring
The parking garage,
hated place. Or the parking garage.
Yep.
Hated place. Well, that's become such a thing for her. Take another person like that, where they don't like this location. It's a public space. There's nobody in it. Somebody says, "Oh, have you heard of Mall World? Let's talk about that for a little bit." Well, obviously that's linked to it. And so they
Right.
start doing their best to link this all together. And thus they firmly believe I've been to Mall World, but they haven't. Their mind has just constructed this location.
Right.
My location is just a house. So I know I haven't been to Mall World because I know the house that I always end
It could
up
be in
at.
the residential area, Floyd.
You're just a few miles away.
Well, maybe.
You're a
but
short walk down the non-functional highway.
it's there's no one ever there when I'm there.
Yeah, it's not just the mall; it's Mall World.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something out beyond.
You know what? That's a great point, though, because you look at it. How many people, show of hands, have been to some sort of sketchy amusement park in their dreams? Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
Been to the ocean?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Been on a non-functional highway?
No.
I don't think
No.
so.
No.
In real life.
I don't think
Airport?
I've been in a moving vehicle in my
I've
dreams.
never been in an airport in my dream.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
You're so uncreative.
Well, and like I said, I could have, but I tend to forget.
Forest?
Right.
Forest, yeah, absolutely.
Sketchy forest? Kind of creepy.
I think they're all sketchy for
Well, I think it's not really that the forest is sketchy. I think it's just that feeling that you're out here alone,
Okay.
and your mind puts you in the forest.
Point being, though, you could take any one of these places and be like, well, you were in
Yeah.
Mall World.
You were in
Well,
this section of it.
And
or-
you're right, right? Like I could sit here and tell you about the reoccurring house.
Right.
And you
I
could
would
be
go,
like,
it's right here.
residential area. Exactly. But see, again, this could be defeating the purpose, right? Because now people get a hold of this, it's out in the zeitgeist, and they just keep building on it, building on it, building on it, building on it. When none of it, when the whole truth of the matter was just what was in the middle. But now you see all these things that everyone's put on top of it. And so now you got to get through all this BS to get to the real story.
But I just think it's weird, though, that the people that have made the maps of it, they're almost identical. Maybe from a different perspective, but I mean, they have all of the same characteristics, which makes me really think maybe they're showing up to this place.
But as much as we don't know about the universe and the sub-universe and all the quantum physics, like this could be just a parallel world.
It could.
That we all have been to or know about in our like deep conscious, or where Shref from another metaphysical world lives in my world, and sometimes I get glimpses of that. Like, we don't know. It's
more
so weird.
I sit here and talk to you guys about this stuff over and over and over, and the more I look, right, and people are going to say I'm crazy here, but the more I look and research into a lot of this stuff, the more I start to question what is reality.
100%.
Not that it's separate from anybody or anything like that, but what if the foundation of what we have always believed reality was has nothing to do with what reality is?
You're in a pod full of goo being used as a battery.
You never know.
We're in a server somewhere. This is a hosted game. There's other servers. The server next to us happens to be Mall World Experiment.
Right.
And sometimes
we accidentally glitch in.
So we the IP address is some kind of the same. We glitch in every night.
Uses the same storage.
Yeah.
What if there is multiple yous out there? And every once in a while, when these two universes, the veil in between them gets too close or something happens, or that time is a construct, place is a construct. It's everything that we've invented as a consciousness so that we could actually exist within it. But the fact of the matter is none of it actually exists. Your consciousness is existing all the time in every universe, and every once in a while, you get a blip from it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And that's what a dream is. That's why the house never changes. That's why I'm always alone. I'm a loser living in a rundown house and some other. You don't know, and probably
with a random sandwich,
but with a random sandwich.
It's not yours. Yeah.
But like it crosses over every once in a while.
I just know if I go to Mall World, I am looking for the Fruit of the Loom store. And I'm going to see if there's a cornucopia.
You never really know. You never really know. All right. Well, final thoughts.
I totally believe that you travel to places in your dreams. I really do. So is there a place that not everyone, but a lot of people know and they have gone there?
So thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
For it being real?
Yeah, I'm going to go. I think my dreams aren't in the mall, but are part of Mall World. I think that's possible. So I like this theory, and I'm going to go thumbs up for Mall World.
Thumbs up, Mall World.
Yeah.
We got two. Sisson?
Oh! You got me.
You're supposed to do like the...
Yeah, it started up and went down.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I'm a thumbs down. I'm not questioning whether people had the dreams or not.
Right.
What I am questioning is what influenced those dreams.
Okay, Grant.
So,
tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Grant, producer.
Oh, he did two thumbs up.
Two thumbs up.
Losers.
All right. Well, you've been watching Jackalopes Explore. Do us a favor. Hit all the fun buttons. Make sure that every time we go live or we've got a video coming up that you're one of the ones who actually gets to
Share
see
this
it
with your
first.
friends, too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And it literally costs you nothing to subscribe.
Yep. Go ahead. Give us a subscription. The more followers we've got, the better the show's going to end up. So thanks for watching Jackalopes Explore. Let's go have a dream.
Yeah.